So what are you going to eat? If we're cutting down a lot of the sugars in your diet, let's have other things in the house that are helpful, that are healthy for you. Nuts and seeds. These have a lot of good fats, a lot of complex carbs. They kind of have a good texture to them, so they will satisfy you in a different way. I also like fruit. If you're going to allow yourself to have fruits, a few pieces of a frozen mango, couple of in just satiating you so that your brain stops, kind of going crazy over the fact that you stopped giving it sugar. Also, as I said, like think about some fruits and vegetables that can actually satisfy you in a very different way. Okay, and I'm getting the internet unstable message again. Can you all hear me? Yes, thank you. Okay, so so when you're at the store, buy the crunchy vegetables, celery, carrots, jicama, and just have those around the house. Maybe spend 10 minutes chopping them and keep them in the fridge. And when you need them, they're ready to go. Okay, can you eat fruit? This is a question I get a lot. And I would say it's up to you and your chosen goal. Some people are, have a personality where they kind of have to cut everything out cold turkey, suffer for a few weeks, and then they're good. They feel good on the other side. Other people need a more gradual approach. So whether you do an all or none or a more gradual approach is really up to you, because you know yourself best. So I would say a little bit of fruit is okay, because it's going to buffer that rise in sugar because of the fiber that it has, the vitamins and minerals it has, and also phytonutrients. And I'm going to guess many of you may not know what phytonutrients are. I don't know why we just don't talk about them in our mainstream culture, but these are vividly colored fruits and vegetables that have a lot of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity. So when you're picking foods, go for color, because that means there's a lot of healing molecules there. Okay, so it's up to you to decide how you want to do it. But if you are going to do a fruit, I'd also say put a protein next to it. So if you're going to have a slice of an apple, put some almond butter on it. It actually tastes really good, and it'll sort of cut the sugar experience from the apple, and you'll still feel very satiated. And anytime you stick a protein next to a sugar, the sugar ends up being not so problematic for the body. The sugar doesn't rise as much. Okay, and then let's talk about, are there healthier sugars? Because not all sugars and carbs are created equal. So when I'm going to give you the list here of healthier sugars, but again, keep in mind, you should be using them in small amounts. And so some of these are honey, which has immune benefits if you're using local honey. It has prebiotic benefits. Prebiotics are fibrous foods that actually help feed our good bugs in the microbiome. So honey has a lot of benefits, but again, small amounts. Let's see, maple syrup. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a message that sound is cutting out in some parts. I'm going to just keep going because we're in the middle of a storm. Okay, fruit we talked about. Stevia comes from a plant. It doesn't taste quite like table sugar, but it's something you can get used to, and it's not so bad for raising blood sugar. Blackstrap molasses, corn syrup, lucuma powder, date syrup, also sugar alcohols, things like xylitol, can sweeten something that you're making without the big rise in sugar like you would get with white table sugar. Okay, and then let's talk about artificial sweeteners, because people always ask me, what about Splenda and some of the other things that you'll get brought to your table when you go out to eat. So I would always pick natural sugars over artificial ones. There's evidence that these artificial 0-calorie sweeteners can cause allergic reactions. They can disrupt your gut microbiome. They can disrupt hormones. In fact, people who are diabetics, a lot of these sugars are marketed to them. Over the long-term use of these artificial sweeteners can lead to worsening blood sugar control.